You're listening to RunePod Episode 1, January 20th, 2019. I'm your host, Sudwood, with 12 years of RuneScape experience, and joining me today are Abaya and Last Pickle.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Been enjoying the new farming guild a lot and struggling with the new Slayer Master. At least I am.
I heard about that.
All I've had to fight was dragons. I'm very sad.
I know. At least you have your Hasta now.
I know.
Alright, so first things first, I want to talk about some little quick things that I learned that'll make your Kebos experience a little better. So, the Amulet of Nature, which you never had to use before because all it would do is let you know when one farming patch was done. If you bind that to the one you're doing for your contract, it'll let you know when your contract's done if you just keep it in your inventory.
I've never heard of that before.
It is an emerald amulet with a magic root that's been crafted into a string. Then you use that to string it, and then you enchant it, I think.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually think I remember seeing that because I was like, like when I was first new, I was like looking up ways to use like enchanting or like crafting for experience, and I saw that, and I was like, what's the point of this thing? And then I guess now we know.
Now it's actually good, because before it would only monitor one farming patch, which wasn't useful, because who cares if one is done? But yeah, that's pretty good.
And you
And
could just-
the next...
I was just gonna say, yeah, like if you can just use RuneLight too, like if you're gonna to monitor most of your patches, but it doesn't work for the farming guild right now. So
No, it does.
it does.
Yeah, I saw they changed that today. It even shows your Hespori.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I need to get a Hespori seed.
You don't have one
Anyway.
yet?
No, not yet.
That's too bad.
And now to the second little update. If you're doing a search for the wiki and you want to get the new wiki instead of the old bad one, just add -wikia to the end of the Google search, and that will remove all wikia sites from the results.
Wow.
Makes it pretty easy to get only the new one.
Yeah, I'm usually
Alright.
pretty lazy about it, so that'll actually help me personally.
Yeah, because you're just trying to click the first one, but you can't really do that all the time. Because the old one is like, it's not very good. The new one looks so nice, especially now that they add night mode.
I haven't tried night mode yet.
Well, it makes it like a dark blue instead. It's pretty nice.
Is the text white or black?
I don't remember.
Wait, is this just for like Google search or like what do you like? Because I've seen
Yeah,
night mode for like phones
well-
and stuff.
It's the
No, well, you're-
wiki site.
The wiki added a night mode.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a very light blue text on like a very dark navy background.
Cool.
It's really easy to see.
I should try it.
All right, and now to get on to actually talking about Kebos. So what have you thought so far about it in general? Do you like the area, the design?
I have a really old computer, so it lags a lot, but
Have you tried turning off? Have you tried turning off low detail?
yeah, I don't know how to do that. I could figure
Yeah,
that out.
It's just a rune light setting. It disables all the fancy stuff, so it looks a little worse, but it runs better.
Yeah. So far, I really like the farming guild. One thing that's pretty funny is they have gates like to enter the restricted, like level restricted areas. And I think in one update they made it so the gates are open if you can enter that area, but for some reason you still like slow down and like walk through the door and have to like re-click on whatever you were trying to do.
Yeah, it's. Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty terrible. Like I like to multitask a lot of the time, so like if I'm just not paying attention and I think I'm supposed to be like harvesting an herb or something, I look back and my character is just standing in the doorway, just not hanging out.
So, actually, what they did is in one of the hot fixes, they said on their stream that they did they replaced the doors with like still blocking blocks So as you're walking through it, it has to check you to see if you
Oh.
have the level. And if you don't, it'll make your character turn around and walk backwards.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Because before the doors, the problem with the doors was people were spam clicking them so no one could get through.
Yeah, that happened to me. That was really
Like
annoying.
people are just standing there and spam clicking them so no one else could get through.
Yeah. I like that you teleport there now, though, with the skills necklace. Like, into the farming guild.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, before then you had to, like, click on the door to enter and then click into a different area to go there.
Yeah, it's not much of a change, but like I agree. Like it's just like I don't know, it just feels nicer doing that, just going in that way. You know, you're in already, and you're like, all right, that's nice. Like I don't have to walk 5 feet.
I
It's
like
like
that the bank is pretty close to the teleport.
To what teleport?
The skills one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that, too.
oh yeah, the whole farming guild I think is just like nicely designed as far as it goes. Like it's pretty convenient, without like really completely breaking farming. Like I'm a little sad that all the herbs have gone down a lot in price because I was making a lot of money before, but otherwise I'm happy that herb lore is now less expensive.
Herblore. Oh, Herblore is now less.
Marginally.
Yeah, a lot of the herbs are not selling for as much.
The seeds go up. The seeds have gone up in price. Herbs have gone down. So now, if you want to go and train herb lore, is a great time. But I'm too lazy.
Yeah, that would be true.
I do like how they have the new Slayer Master right next to a fairy ring. Because it's way easier to get to her. I don't know what level agility you need to climb the mountain, but it's not a long walk at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's too high because like I mean, I guess we have fairly high agility at this point, but
It's low 70s, they said,
no, it must be lower than that.
Mine's like 64.
or mid 60s. Then
Yeah, it must be mid 60s or something like that. But yeah, as far as the Slayer Master goes, one thing I've noticed is even though you know their combat level's not super high that you need to go fight or use that Slayer Master, like a lot of the tasks seem to be like just a lot higher than the previous Slayer Masters.
Yeah, like both the strength of the monsters is pretty high.
And also just the number you get, like I was only like level 75 combat, like just enough, and I went in. First task that I'm still working on because I've been doing a bunch of other stuff is I got like 169 Cerberus, or not Cerberus, Hellhounds. I don't know why I do that, but
Because Cerberus is the Hellhound boss.
yeah, I know, but I always call it Cerberus first before Hellhound. Anyway, the nice thing though is because of the new drop table, like things like the hellhounds that don't normally give you drops, like I'm pretty sure they just give you bones unless you're in the wilderness. Like now you at least like every like 60 of them you get something. And for me it was actually the first 10 that I killed, I got like 3 drops from the table, and now I haven't gotten any since then. I've killed like another 120.
Wow, you've gotten pretty unlucky. I know.
Well, you know
Az
what's...
has
I was
gotten
gonna
really
say,
unlucky with their dragons.
you know what's unlucky? Having my first task be steal dragons and the max amount dragons I'd have to kill, and only being level like 85.
Yeah.
That was not a good time.
Took you like an entire day just to kill like, what was it, 24?
No, it was like 50.
It was 50?
And
Yeah, it was 50.
Yeah, she got like 48, which is the highest you can
No, I think
Oh,
it was
that's right.
49, I think.
get.
Yeah. It was very
And
unfortunate.
she used like 500 casts of a death rune spell.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that
it was
only
the
killed
Slayer
2
Bolt.
of them. And then I tried
Yeah.
ranged, and that didn't work either.
And then you prayed melee.
Yeah,
At
I
least you have
did.
your Hasta now. Have you tried that yet?
Yeah, she has. It's helping her out a lot from what I've seen.
Yeah, I've only killed one
So-
dragon with it so far. But it was
Yeah.
going a lot quicker.
So the special attack on that Hasta is what was I gonna say?
Well, speaking of special attacks, I still haven't really gotten to use them because I know when I was
Mhm.
using the bone crossbow, I saw they had one, but you had to finish the quest. Is that all of them? Like all the different special attacks you need to finish the quest, or is that just like some of them?
No, that's just the bone crossbow. All the other ones are just really tied to like dragon weaponry and above.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense because I was just like wondering. I was like, the special attack seems kind of nifty, like something I want to do, but then I don't want to go do a whole quest.
Yeah, and there are some things that aren't even weapons that have special attacks, like the dragon axe can increase your
Oh,
wood
and the
cutting.
dragon pickaxe too.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was gonna say about your Hasta is the special attack is for every. You can use it every 5 special attack points, and it gives you 1 accuracy per special attack point used, and 0.5% extra damage for every point used. So if you use 100%, you get 100% accuracy and plus 50% damage for that hit.
Is there any way you can choose the amount you use, or is it only
Yeah,
as
no,
much
it
as
uses
it?
what you have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's still pretty cool that you're guaranteed like a pretty strong hit.
Yeah, plus 50% damage, and you're guaranteed it to hit.
Yeah.
The worst thing is like using a expensive special attack and it just hits 0.
What's an expensive special attack?
Well, just like using one that you need to hit, like fighting a boss and using a special attack that drains defense so you can kill it faster, and then you just miss both of them, so you have to fight it at full defense.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time. But you have very bad luck too.
I do have very bad luck. So the Konar drops have been pretty good for me. I've gotten, I want to say, 1 every task or so, and it's always been about 40k.
Wow.
Well, yeah, that is pretty. I think it is pretty good because, like I said, I got 3 drops in 10, which I guess like since I've killed like 100 is for like 120 is pretty good, and I got a total of like 300k.
Let's see. So far, I've gotten Runite bolts and the Mystic rope top, and that's it.
Yeah, I actually got a coin drop, but I didn't realize it because I have a bad habit of forgetting to put my coins back into the bank after buying things at the Grand Exchange. So sometimes I just bring them to go fight level 129s.
I know, he was fighting Hellhounds
Why?
earlier, and he's walking around with like 200k. It's like a level like 70, and I'm like,
Well,
what are you
it was-
doing?
It was 185k at first, and then I was looking at it, I was like, why is it 285 now? And apparently, I think I must have gotten just the 100k drop.
Yeah. Do you guys bring elk runes when you're doing Slayer?
I've been meaning to, but I always forget.
Well, for me, like right now, it doesn't matter because I only get the Slayer drops, which are so infrequent that I'm not really gonna be able to do anything. Like it's not really gonna take up inventory space, and then otherwise it's just bones. So
Because have you gotten more than 1 Hellhound task, or is it just one
Just
really
one.
huge one?
Just 169.
Oh yeah, that takes forever even for me when I'm like praying with potions.
Yeah, he's been working on getting the prayer armor.
Oh, the proselyte?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you really should do that.
Yeah, well,
Because he's
interesting.
like fighting hellhounds with rune armor and praying, and I'm like, that's gonna take a long time.
Well, I have to do. What is the quest? Is it wanted to get the prayer armor? Because like I had to. So far, I've already had to do recruitment drive, which I hadn't done yet.
Yeah, you have to do like a lot of quests.
Slug Menace.
The what
Slug
meta?
Menace requires Wanted and Sea Slug.
Yeah, I'm working on wanted, which I
Quest.
didn't even have all the requirements for. I had to do recruitment drive and what was the other one? And I have to do Dorkshun, the or the Lost Tribe, and
Another one you should do is another slice of ham.
Oh, I haven't done that either.
Yeah, that gets you a mace, which its special attack costs 100%, but it restores prayer points equal to the damage you hit.
But to do that, we would have had to do the first ham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another slice of ham is like the 5th quest in a chain.
so I feel like the best thing to do usually is like doing like leveling up a little bit, then doing certain quests, like following the optimal guides and all that. But I mean, I think more so me, but we both have a bad tendency of just leveling up our skills forever and never doing any quests because I have like an 80 combat, almost what do I have like combat 76 or 79 77 combat level, and I had to like
Mhm.
fight level 20s for quests. I don't know, it's just like okay.
Yeah.
He has a bad habit of not doing any, but I do quests and farming, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean after
I
after you're told to, like
You should really just get started on Recipe for Disaster.
I've already done like part of it.
I got some of those like sticks from the ape atoll. Is that how you say it? Ape atoll.
Yeah, the sticks.
Yeah, like the monkey, like the toy or whatever. Like it's like a talisman that the monkey baby has, and you have to.
Oh, you're on that part of the quest.
Yeah, and you just kind of like keep stealing his toy. No, I already finished that quest. I just, you can apparently you need
Mm-hmm.
more of the.
Yes, you need 4 other ones in total.
Yes, so I've got 4 of the talismans, but then I was too lazy to go get all the different bones you need to get. So I was just like,
You mean the monkey speak talisman?
no, you have
Or
to.
you mean the held item? Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to like for each of the talismans, you have to get like a different kind of monkey bone or something. And I just was like,
Yeah.
I'm
You
already.
need ninja, gorilla, and zombie.
Yeah, and
I
like
think.
at that point, I was just like, you know what? I'm already doing a terribly annoying quest. Like, and I'm almost done. I just want to get this over with.
Just wait for part 2.
I think I will wait.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wait too.
Monkey Madness 2 is long. It's like 3.5 hours.
Oh my
Maybe when I
God.
could be one of those guys who just, the ones who just like throw all their money, like all their coins, because they've already made so much, like a couple billion.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll do those ones because then I can just teleport everywhere and like waste all my money. It doesn't matter.
I do that
Really,
anyway.
all you need is like 50 construction, and then you can teleport
I
everywhere.
do. I just haven't. Well, right now I don't have the money to build the portals, but
Oh yeah, the portal rooms are kind of expensive.
plus I also don't have high enough magic quite yet to get all of them. I only have 61.
Oh yeah. I keep forgetting that like I'm level 108 and like 1845 total level because I'm so used to not being higher level in this game.
Yeah.
It feels weird when you get to like towards the end game of an MMO.
Yeah, what do you do then?
What do you mean when you have max total?
Yeah.
You make money. You do things for fun. You go for 200 mil
Oh, is that a
XP.
thing? Oh, 200 mil XP.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The first person in old school RuneScape just got like 2 weeks ago 200 mil in every skill.
That sounds terrible. I was feeling bad for myself having to have like over 2 mil farming XP.
That's like 4 point something billion XP.
Oh my God.
I'm always impressed by the people who can like put that much into those like that stuff. Like the people who would get all like the stars in Mario like 64 or something, or like that sort of stuff. It's just like I usually do like for the first like part of the game I'm really grindy and like I get 100% of everything I can, but then like I just burn out and I get distracted and bored.
It's still, yeah, that's a long grind. At least we don't have the comp cape like new RuneScape does. The completionist cape, it requires you to do a bunch of silly things, and then to get the trimmed version, like one of the requirements is play Castle Wars for a month straight. Not a month of real time, a month in game time.
I love Castle Wars.
30 days.
I wish it was still a thing.
No one plays it, so you just sit AFK in Castle Wars
Yeah,
for
that's
30 days
probably
of game
because
time.
they want more membership.
Yeah, that's true.
That's too bad,
All
though.
right.
I wish it was more popular.
Yeah. Are you guys ready to move on to the first topic?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to look at that.
Do you guys have them open?
All right, yes, I'm here.
I'm
All right,
not.
so we're starting with 50 farming contracts to complete my thoughts.
Okay.
That's the first topic we're going into.
Yeah, I see that.
All right.
Click on the link, Michael.
Which one?
Click on the first link.
The first link. Okay, so it is just the first link. I wasn't sure.
Yes.
I don't know. I get distracted by things.
That's fine. All right. So I'm going to read this. If you guys want to choose a section to read, then please feel free, because this is very long.
Okay. Go ahead.
How about you get rewards and Michael gets improvements?
Okay.
That sound good? I'll read
Yep.
the first two. All right. 50 farming contracts complete. My thoughts. Hi, I don't post very often, so sorry about formatting issues. Oh, I probably skipped that part.
Yeah.
All right. I just finished 15 farming contracts and wanted to give my thoughts on the contract system meta and maybe suggest a few alternative rewards. I've completed 35 hard, 10 medium, and 5 easy contracts. Realize others may have many more contracts complete, but I've done enough so that I feel I can share some thoughts. Overall, I've really enjoyed the guild and it seems fantastic for many stages of account progression. As discussed on the 2000 Escape previously, Reddit, keeping things grown and not checking health harvesting is by far the best way I've found to complete contracts. For grinding hard contracts, I keep the following grown at all times: palm tree, maple tree, dwarf reed or lanthanide, poison ivy bush, watermelons, and snape grass. These have been the most common contracts I have received over and over again, and oftentimes I can turn in 2 to 3 contracts at a single time. And then I then obtain contracts until I do not have that item grown and replant the list above for the new contract. My general strategy has been to re-roll any contract that will take longer than 160 minutes to grow. I then go to the medium contract table, which contains many of the plants I keep grown: maple, watermelon, snapegrass, poison ivy, bush, for something I already have grown. If instead I am rolled a yew tree, I then proceed to the easy contract table. Being above level 85 farming, and even 65 farming, on the easy contract table can be extremely punishing. I have been assigned both an apple and orange tree and ended up having to grow the tree for 16 hours before proceeding to the other contracts. Because of this fact, I will generally complete all contracts that take less than 160 minutes to complete on the hard or medium contract table. Now on to rewards.
Rewards seem to be based on the type of contract completed and less so on the value of seed grown. For hard contracts, it seems that you are guaranteed a roll on a valuable seed table and have a chance at a second roll on the table, which contains the following seeds: mahogany usually drops in pairs, ranar, snapdragon, torstal, fruit tree seeds above palm tree seeds, tree seeds above maple, celastris, and hesperia seeds. Even with 50 contracts completed, I cannot statistically confirm that you will get a roll on this table, but from talking to folks at the Farming Guild, this seems to be the case. Following the valuable seed drops will be an assortment: around 8 rolls of medium level herb seeds, snapegrass, potato cactus, allotment seeds, etc. However, this does not seem to be a random chance. Over the course of completing 50 contracts, I now have 160 Irrit seeds in the bank, with other medium level seeds totaling much less, around 30 corm and toadflax. For the medium and easy tiers, it seems like you will have a declining chance of getting the valuable seed table, but still receive the same around 8 rolls on the generic seed table. I was lucky to obtain my celastris seed to complete the Coranda Elite Diary by re-rolling my 5th completed contract to an easy contract and completing it. Now on to improvements and alternative rewards.
One interesting set of rewards that they could add or transfer to the farming guild would be the addition of the Teeth Farm Shop to the guild. I think that being able to obtain the Gricolers Gricolers can, the Bottomless Watering Can, the Seed Box, and the Farming Outfit would be a great fit for rewards from the farming contract system. My suggestion, if this were to be implemented, would be to provide the player points based on the level of contract completed. For easy contracts, it can provide 1 point, medium 2 points, and hard 3 points, or double these point values. There could be a 5 times multiplier for every 10 contracts completed, some systems similar to Slayer, to help people obtain the outfits. It is worth mentioning this would still take quite a bit of time. With my proposed system, you would need to complete nearly 100 hard contracts to obtain the outfit. Players could then choose to passively obtain the outfit through the Farming Guild contract system, or to actively obtain it through playing the Tithe Farm minigame. There's also been a large discussion on adding some sort of seed storage to the Farming Guild. The addition of the seed box from the Teeth Farm Rewards shop could reward the players with seed storage for completing contracts. Another alternative improvement could be to allow players to cancel their current farming contract for a set amount of points. I have mixed feelings about this suggestion, but I'm not sure what others might think. One last small complaint I have is that by grinding contracts I've gained quite a few Hespori seeds. With the growth time of 36 hours, I'll probably have enough for eternity soon. I realize that you can disable receiving Hespori seeds by talking to the guy outside the cave, but I feel like the system could use a bit of tweaking, either to the growing rate of the Hespori or to the rate which they are dropped to find a happy medium.
So, what do you guys think?
Honestly, that last part, I actually do agree with the Hespori comment. I feel like it is dropped fairly often. Like, I've only done a couple of medium contracts, maybe like a dozen or so. And I think I already have like five or almost five Hespori seeds, and I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of a lot because then it makes the I haven't really done any other bosses, so I can't really say. But it's just like the fact that you can just do it so easily, and like get the seeds so easily.
You can't say you would do it so easily.
Well, not
because if you tried to fight him, you would die.
Well, yeah, but not fight him. I mean, just like getting access to him. Like I don't think I have access to any other boss. Like, and I've been doing other things. It's just, I mean, sure, I haven't been trying to, but I haven't been trying to get the Hespori seed either.
Well, you can already do Winterrot, the fire making boss.
That's a fire making boss.
Yeah, this is a farming boss. It's kind of a combat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess it's not really that hard of a combat boss.
No, not really.
As long as you have
it was at first.
Prayers.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and then you got used to it.
Well, yeah, because he does switch between magic and ranged, and it was really hard at first to figure out which one he was using.
Yeah, wasn't there a guide that you found online that was actually had them mixed up?
Yeah, so it said when he like spins around in a circle that was ranged, but oh, it said that when he spins around it would be ranged, but I'm pretty sure that that's his magic attack.
Yeah, and
oh, so you just had to get used to the prayer switch.
Yeah,
prayer swapping.
Because it wasn't. I don't know if you haven't done it enough. It's kind of hard to tell which one he's gonna do.
Yeah, and she was saying she had found a guide that had told her the wrong thing. And from what we've seen, or at least from what I've seen from watching her fight the boss, yeah, it's definitely the one where he spins and shoots out like the glob. That seems to be magic, at least from what she's done with prayer. And it kind of makes sense too, with as far as animation goes. Like it's kind of a glowy glob. You know, it kind of looks magical, whereas the other ones look like, I don't know, like I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Like it looks like pollen or bees or something. And I don't know. To me, that makes sense as ranged.
What have you been using for the for bolts?
Well, in the beginning you told me to use the diamond bolt, I think.
Yeah.
And I've been using that, and it takes me like, I don't know, 15. So it really doesn't cost me that much, and I'd rather do that because I don't have a lot of HP, and I'd rather just kill him quickly.
The special attack on the Diamond D is pretty good. How much health does he have? Do you know?
I really don't know. That's a good question.
He's like 200 something, I think, from what it's...
Oh, let me look. He has 300. Oh, so ruby bolts are bad then. You don't want ruby bolts.
I've been using diamond.
Yeah, I was just looking because on some of the bosses, like the Dragon Slayer 2 quest boss, he has 2,000 health.
Yeah.
So you want to use ruby bolts because they have a max hit of 99 when they activate.
Wow. Well, it's helpful to be able to one-hit the flowers that make him immune to your attacks, because then you can just kill him quicker.
Sounds good. Anything you want to add, Michael?
Well, I mean, what I just think is that, you know, since it's not like a huge, like it's fairly expensive to buy the diamond bolts and everything, but like at that point, especially if you're lower combat level, it just makes sense to deck yourself out for the fight because if you die, it costs you a lot more to get all your stuff back than it is just to buy better equipment in the first place.
Yeah, and with the Avas, you don't really lose the bolts.
Yeah. It's like you just get Ava's the accumulator, and it's great. Like that's probably like the best item I've gotten so far. It's just that because it makes ranging so much cheaper and so much easier.
What'd you think about the try hard method for the farming contracts? I thought it's pretty good way to do it. It sounds really expensive though.
It sounds
those grown.
really complicated. I really don't understand how he keeps a palm tree and maple tree already grown. Does that mean that he doesn't check the health?
Okay,
That's
no,
a great
not
idea.
until he gets the contract.
That's what I figured.
Yeah,
because
they take 16 hours. So
I never realized that you could also re-roll a contract because I've gotten magic trees twice, and it really made my bank account very sad.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't sure if there'd be like some sort of penalty for re-rolling it. I was, so I hadn't done it yet. I hadn't gotten anything expensive.
You have a lesser chance at the good rewards, but that's it.
But you also wouldn't have to spend 100k on a sapling.
You wouldn't have to spend 100k on a magic seed.
Yeah.
I did get for my second contract, I got another spirit seed, which is nice because I already planted one spirit tree in the farming guild.
Oh, I just got one today from my contract.
Hey, you can plant one in the farming guild then.
Yeah, if I had the farming level.
Yeah, you do. You have gotten really
It's
lucky.
only 83, Abby.
Yeah, I have 79.
Yeah, well,
I'm almost
in
there.
one level you can boost. Oh, you have to be 85 to go into the area.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway, you're almost there.
Honestly,
Once you get to 82, you can boost into the area with a pie.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, but once I hit level 69, I was like, it's gonna take me a really long time to be able to get to the next level. So I'm just gonna or 65. I was just kind of have dropped off a lot as far as what I was doing.
Just do one tree run a day,
Yeah.
and then every 3 days do your hardwoods.
Yeah, herbs aren't really that quick anymore.
Yeah, just do one fruit tree run along with a calquat a day, and then every 3 days just do hardwood trees.
Makes it go by a lot slower, but you also don't get sick of it very easily.
That's like 20 minutes once a day.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of work.
And as far as the try hard goes, I think it's really good for an idea for money making. I don't know necessarily how much he makes, but the reason I like farming and I like the farming guild is because it's AFK. You put 5 minutes in, and then you come back whenever you have time or feel like it, and you just make money and get seeds. So I feel like for me it would kind of defeat the purpose from just because I want to be doing other things, at least at my point in the level, whereas still using the farming guild and doing the contracts and stuff, and every now and again I do get lucky and I have one of those things growing. I grow watermelons and make my own compost, which with the new compost thing is really convenient. I don't have to ever buy compost anymore. I've been
Do you mine your volcanic ash for ultra compost?
I haven't been doing ultra compost because I haven't gone to go mine volcanic ash. So
then what do you use on your hardwoods?
On my hardwoods, I buy the ultra compost. That's true. But I hardly use a lot, because the hardwoods I only have to check every 3 days.
It's every 3 days.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so it's really not much. And then maybe if I have to grow something that is expensive for a farming contract, like Snapdragon, I've had to grow before. And I've actually I've gotten fairly lucky with that because now Snapdragons and Ranrars are no longer profitable to grow. I mean, maybe with the boosted if you get the anima seeds, because I don't know how much it really gives you for boost, but if you got a lot more of them, you could probably make a good profit. But the seed price has gone up a lot, and the herb price has gone down a bit. Not much, but a little bit.
I think you're fine if you use the patches where it has no chance of dying.
Yeah, plus
so there's no chance of you losing it.
Well, yeah, but you still might lose money if you don't recoup the cost for the seed and the ultra compost.
Yeah, for each seed you probably
have to... if you make your own ultra compost.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for each seed you'd have to get 9 herbs or something like that, because it's like 60k for a
Oh
seed
wow,
right now, and like the
it's
herbs
pretty
only
bad.
sell for less than 10k, so you have to at least have gotten like it's like they're like 9k, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. I see. My 6 Snapdragon seeds are 350k.
Yeah, they're a lot now. They're like I love getting them for drops, and I've gotten a couple from I don't remember what. Oh, actually, it was a Slayer task I think I was doing that I got like 2 Snapdragon seeds, and it was a pretty low level too. I think it was. Well, like, it wasn't. It might have been Turas actually. I think it might have been Turas. I got 2 Snapdragon seeds fighting them. Um,
Cool.
although it was funny though. With this, well, I was just gonna say it was funny that I at first I thought my I turned off uh the combat like requirement thing for Slayer Masters and had accidentally like been going to fight things that were harder than my level. Just yeah.
No, you just there's just that's the
Really?
minimum for
Oh,
the Slayer
that's cool.
Master. Pretty much. Yeah. Well, like it doesn't have any of the easy things that the other Slayer Masters pad out their table with. There's only like really high level things that give
Except
lots
for
of Slayer.
trolls.
That gives good Slayer XP. It's like doing Duradel, kind of, which is the level 100
Huh.
combat level
Oh.
100.
But I got trolls twice.
The tasks are pretty similar.
Those are easy. Yeah.
Yeah, but trolls are easy. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna ask, Abs, what do you think of the Hispori boss?
I mean, it's
Has it
kind
been
of
fun?
the same thing. Like, he has 3 attacks, and that's it.
The first time was pretty fun though for
The
you.
first time was really scary. Like, I was worried that I would die. And especially without, like, many guys being out, because it was, like, the first day.
I know you got
Yeah, it
one
was
quicker than some YouTubers.
kind of
got
difficult,
their seed.
especially since I'm not that high of a level. But now that I've done, like, I don't know, 4 of them, it's kind of just like, okay, gotta go fight the Hispori. And I think it's a little unfortunate because, like, so far I haven't, like, yeah, the anima seeds are good, but they're not, you can't really trade them, so I don't really.
You're just hoping for like a magic seed.
Yeah, I
or
haven't gotten
6
anything
million
that's
compost
actually
bucket.
worth real money.
Hey,
Oh,
maybe we
haha.
get the pet, which is
Yeah.
a copy
Wait, isn't
of
it the
farming
same
pet.
thing? It's already a tangle root.
So you'd have
Wait,
it's the
like,
same
You
model.
wouldn't even be able
It's
to
the
tell
same
them
model. So
like,
you'd have
apart.
I
two
mean,
pets
Abby
with the
already
same
got
model.
the pet when she was like level 39 farming.
No, it
No, that
was
was
51.
yeah, 51 farming from what was it, willow trees or something like that?
Yeah.
I know, but it would be hilarious, like to
I
get
know.
the one pet in the game.
That
that's
would be.
the
I
exact same
thought
model.
they were the same thing, but if they're not, that's kind of funny.
But yeah, I mean, I think the anima seeds though would be a good drop if you're doing something like the like that hardcore farming contract thing, or like because like you're already growing so much. Like if you got, I think the one that gives you more yield for like your stuff is really good because herbs are like obviously the one.
Yeah, if you do a bunch of herb runs, like if you do an herb run every 90 minutes, like you can.
That's what I
Then
did with
the
the first
yield
yield
one
one
would
I
probably be
got,
really
but
good.
I think you can get them from the seed
Mhm.
packs, can't you? Anima seeds. So like, you can't.
Mhm.
I
No,
think they're only
They
exploring.
only they
Oh.
only come from
Well,
Hispori.
okay, because I have a couple, so I thought it was from the seed pack, but
And speaking of her luck though, as far as like the Hispori seeds go, you said like she got them before some YouTubers. She probably got 5 before some YouTubers because I remember like the first like 10 minutes that we had really like gotten the farming guild. I remember her doing like an herb run like after doing one farming contract, and she had like 3 to 5 Hispori seeds after that, and we'd only been using the farming guild for like an hour maybe.
That's funny. All right, you guys ready to move on to topic
which
number
is that?
3?
2, I think, isn't it?
2? Yeah, 2. That's
Yeah.
the Hydra drop rates. All right. So the Hydra is the new level 95 Slayer boss, which they added. Drops one really expensive item, which is the Hydra's Claw. And based on what people have put together through like 37,000 kills, so it should be pretty accurate. Hydra's
Wow.
Claw, which is currently 77 million, is 1 in 1k. The leather, which is 6 million, So the claw makes the Dragon Slayer lance, which is like best melee weapon to fight dragons with. The leather gives you an upgrade over the Barrow's gloves for melee. That's 1 in 500 and costs about 5 mil. The tail, currently it's worthless, and we'll get on to what they want to change it to, but it's 1 in 500. And then the ring comes in 3 untradable pieces, which are 1 in 200, and then you have to put the 3 pieces together. The ring is pretty decent. I think it's 6 mil. What it does is gives you all the stats of the Fremenic rings, the archers, seers, berserkers, warriors, tyrannical, treasonous. It has the stats of all those rings, and it has a 10% chance to ignore your opponent's magic defense when
Oh
you
wow.
attack them with magic. It's mostly a PvP ring, but for tri-breeding, where you attack people
Yeah.
with all 3 styles, but it's pretty good. Like, if you didn't have any other ring and you like got it from
Yeah, I
killing the
mean,
boss, it's pretty decent.
yeah, I bet that it is good
Or if
because
you're
like if you
maging,
you
I
know you think
guess.
about it, a lot of the play like PKing like you're trying to get like people usually who are like lower level than you, and a lot of the time it's just easy to find those people who are ranging like some Slayer task or something that's just higher level than them. So you know, getting through their defense makes it even easier.
Yeah, and you really want to hit with your ice barrage so that they get frozen for 22 seconds, 18 seconds, something like that. And then they added the Dragon Throne Axe and Knives, which are 1 in 1k. Those are also PvP weapons. They use like the spec on those, or they swap from those to the ballista. Just basically PvP weapons. The knives are 4k each for each knife, and I think the Throne Axes are about 3k. Those are 1 in 1k. And then the pet's 1 in 3k. So the Hydra is a pretty cool looking boss. I should have gotten a picture for it, actually, for this part of the show. But anyway, yeah, I've been lusting over the claw
I
because I
mean,
want the Dragon Slayer lance.
those seem like
Because it looks
pretty good
cool.
drop rates for things that are really expensive. Do you think that the prices will go down? Like, once the Hydra is out for longer?
Yeah. The claw
Wow.
started at 135 million and now it's 77. But you can only fight her on a Slayer task, so you can't farm it infinitely.
Yeah, I think it could.
I mean,
So
it'll
that'll
also
help.
I'll probably go back up again when people get bored of doing the boss because like you know right. Well, I mean, you see it.
Oh,
You
I
see,
hope
yeah.
not.
Well, you see it now. Like, it's kind of what I expected. Is like a lot of the stuff. You know, at first everything was a lot more expensive. You know, the drops and everything, and then it dropped down. And I think like because everybody was doing it and everybody knew how to do it, so there was a lot in circulation. Just you know, basic sort of economic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, on the first day, 65 claws were traded, and I think yesterday
Yeah. So now
4
that
were
the supply
traded.
is yeah. So
Like
now
in
that they're
total
rare,
across
like
the
there's
entire
gonna be
game.
less inside like supply. Like this, you know, the price will go up again.
Yeah, they're still gonna go down though, because they're not at what their value actually is. Like the Dragon Slayer Lance isn't worth 80 mil, because at that point you can just spend like 30 more and get the crossbow, and the crossbow is like 15% better at most bosses that you would use it at. So yeah, I expect
Yeah,
those prices to go down. I just want to put the info out there. I didn't expect you guys to say anything
yeah.
or me either, because I
Well,
can't fight it either.
one last comment. I like the 3-piece ring thing. I like stuff like that, you know, like where you get pieces to an item because it's kind of exciting getting all 3
Mm-hmm.
pieces, especially like the first time or like you know when you first get your loop half and teeth half of a key. You know, it's not like it's anything great, but you're like, "Oh yeah."
And it kind of helps with the final price of the final item, because the pieces aren't tradable, but the final item is. So you can't just like get one piece and sell it. You have to get lucky and get the other pieces before
Yeah.
you can actually sell a completed ring. All right. Are we up to Kona
Yep.
loot table balancing? This
Yeah,
is
I see
the
that.
first thing
I'm
under
on it.
Kebos changes. All right, so in response to your feedback, we would like to tweak Kona's drop table. Not a major overhaul. They did make some changes. The ones you're looking at on the screen right now, if you're watching the video, on the left is the old one. And on the right is the new one, which they just put out today, and we'll get to that. So the problem was, as you can see by the first drop table, right under table balancing, you guys, a lot of those drops are pretty terrible. And then there are the ones that are really good. So, like, the runes of the essence are really terrible, but then you get like 15 crystal keys or 200
Wow.
Ranars,
200?
Snapdragons.
Yeah,
or when it first came out, there was 2,500 Saradomin
As I was
brews,
looking
which
at that,
are
I was like, I don't
2.8k
remember any
each.
of these.
So that's
wow.
that's
Too
a
bad I
5 mil
wasn't
drop.
doing it at that time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so yeah, that was only the
Yeah,
first
that's
couple
ridiculous.
hours. Anyway, so that's the normal drops, and then if we look at the special drops, Konar's unique drop tables are accessed at a rate of 1 out of 100 for level 100 NPCs and 1 out of 50 for 350 NPCs. This contains the broken dragon hosta and used to contain the 2,500 Saradomin brews, which were removed shortly after this update. So the things they want to add next is the new Mystic set. Yeah, they want to add the new Mystic set, which is in Konar's colors. Looks pretty good.
Didn't they already add that?
So not the dark.
The-
Yeah, the dark one. Yeah, didn't. Yeah, Abby.
Yeah, they did.
No, it's not dark.
No, this is it's
What
not
is
dark.
it
It's
called?
Completely new
Dusk,
one. Okay,
you're
that's
right.
cool.
It is dusk.
Okay, yeah, I see it. I see it there.
Dusk,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it looks cool. And like,
It looks really good, I think. So that's added. That's on the unique drop table along with the Dragon Hosta right now. It's probably going to end up being worth like 200k a piece, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
For like basically just fashion items. All right, so that is the update they put out right after, and then on the next, which one is next? I can't remember. Next is the change block, the change poll. Okay. So if you guys get over to the poll
so
blog,
that's the next link, right? Yeah, I'm on there.
yeah, the second one under the changes. All right, so as we mentioned above, we have included our plans for Konar's loot table in this post. It can be found at the bottom. In response to your feedback, we have aimed to increase the overall gold earned from an average drop on Konar's table. This value is now similar to the original average of Ponder's release. Using community suggestions for alternatives to items produced by skilling and alchemals, we've also added a couple items which were not present before. No uniques have been added for the time being so as to avoid the risk of destabilizing the table. That said, we have seen some amazing ideas which we've considered and may use variants of in the future, and later on we'll get to a couple of those suggestions by the community. So first things first, on this poll, which they're going to put out, I think, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere around there, so in a day or two. For those of you not familiar with this, an island lies in the middle of Lake Malk in the New Kebos area. At the lake, players can talk to Ulri the Angler and begin aerial fishing. This method involves using birds to catch fish from spots around the lake similar to falconry hunter. Each catch offers a chance of finding a mulch pearl, which can be used to buy fishing related rewards. We've been aware for some time that the fishing trawler is not the most popular minigame, but is still visited by many players wishing to obtain the angler's outfit. For reference, each piece of the outfit offers a small experience bonus while fishing, coming to a full set of 2.5% in total. We'd like to offer the option to obtain this set elsewhere, and the new aerial fishing seems like a good fit. However, if this were to be added, it would take longer to obtain the whole set via this new method, as the rate of getting pearls is consistent. We also maintain that we would like to improve the trawler in the future. In response to additional feedback, we will pull an increase to the rate of mulch poles gained while aerial fishing. This is not to say that the fishing trawler will not receive updates in the future to improve the experience. It will also continue to be the fastest way to obtain the set. So this is just an option to offer the angler's outfit alongside an activity that is more engaging and has other benefits. So in comparison, the fishing trawler minigame gives you the angler set, which is really handy because you can use it to catch sharks really fast. if you have the fishing lure to catch sharks, and you have the full outfit. But it's entirely luck based. So, I have one piece, and I've done fishing trawler for like 16 hours. Yeah. So, question 1: should the angler sell the angler outfit at a shop for 100 pearls apiece? This outfit would still be obtainable from fishing trawler. And then the next question: should the rate at which players can expect to obtain a mulch pearl from aerial fishing scale from 1 in 100 to 1 in 75 based on combination of their fisher and hunter levels? And then at 99, both players can expect to be 1 in 75. At 43 fishing and 35 hunter, the rate is 1 in 100. So what do you two think of those two questions?
You want to go first?
I think question 1 sounds a lot like the ability to buy parts of the prospector outfit. And I don't have any experience playing the fishing trawler minigame at all, but I think it would be nice to not have to play a minigame to get outfits that could increase your experience.
So basically what you do in the minigame is you go onto this boat, and then you spam click a bucket in your inventory.
I don't know, that sounds like a lot of RuneScape to me.
Yeah, but you have to be actively clicking the bucket like every couple ticks, every like 2 seconds for 5 minutes. And then you've done one run.
That's
and
pretty
it can
terrible.
Take like several hundred.
As much as I like the idea of the minigame, a lot of the minigames, like, that does sound really terrible. And it's just like, because, you know, I like the idea of the minigames just because, you know, like, it's just something fun to do, and like you need a lot of people doing it so that the people who do actually like doing it have other people to do it with. Like I think, what was it, Clan Wars died, and like has died since
all
like,
of them.
Yeah, all of them. All of them are dead.
Everything died. So what I was gonna say about aerial fishing,
I didn't even know it existed.
Have either of you?
Yeah.
So, have you ever guys ever seen one of those clicking games where you have click circles in a certain order? Like, no, it's like a timing mini game.
Yeah,
it's sort of like a rhythm game. So it like Osu. Anyway, so it's kind of like that because the fishing spots pop up and disappear, and you're like clicking them, waiting for your bird to get there and back, and then you click another one. So it's not like boring. It's click intensive, but it's not like incredibly boring because you're trying to like pay attention and click on the circles as they appear. At least I didn't find it boring.
Do you catch anything that isn't the pearls? Do you catch actual fish?
But you cut them open with cooking to get bait, which lets you keep fishing. Like,
that's the one you were talking about. That's the one where you train hunter and fishing.
Yeah, you train hunter,
right?
fishing, and cooking.
Oh,
that's really cool. I like that.
And yeah,
I like the idea.
And then that's question 3. The golden tench is a rare equipable reward that can be obtained while aerial fishing. There are no uses for any golden tench that some lucky players may have received after their first run. We would like to give some value for these players who are trying to obtain the rewards from the shop. Should you be able to sell the golden tench to Alary for 100 pearls? Is question 3. I think so. It's pretty rare. It's like 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000.
Yeah, I think that sounds fine.
It's just
it's
not even. It's just a joke weapon that you wear. It doesn't have any stats or anything.
Yeah, like, well, what's the rate for the mock pearls? Like, cause just
1 in 100, and then the fish is like 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 5,000.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I was gonna say if it was like a higher rate, then I'd say like cut that in half. But like if it's gonna be like 1 in 5,000, sure. 1 in 1,000, I wouldn't be against it. I think maybe something.
I'm pretty sure it's like
maybe not quite.
I'm pretty sure it's like insane like 5,000 or 10,000.
I don't know. I kind of like that there's just a joke weapon like they have in the duel arena. I don't think everything should have to have a purpose.
Yeah, but what happens when you get a second one?
Yeah, exactly. That's what this is for.
You show it off at the Grand Exchange.
They're
Show it
untradeable, and you can only equip one at a time.
Well, I think what they should do really is they should have a new house building option where you can mount the fish
You
as
mean
like a
all the
trophy.
other mounted fish in the house?
Oh, that would be
well,
cool.
yeah. But no, it should be a special one though for this particular one.
Yeah,
Fish.
there's a bunch of other special fish that you can fish that you can mount in your house. So,
Well, we should be able to mount this one too.
Alright.
Well, yeah, but it should have a specific
And have it be a weapon.
its own specific like mount, like a special like it's like an altar,
Mhm.
yeah, you can use it for like a a new like a new gilded altar, but it's like the fish altar.
All right. So question 4 is just about the duel arena, making it a fun weapon. It's just something to do about people scamming people in duels. That's all. In
I
a previous blog,
I
the
don't know.
option to open an instance version of the island for aerial fishing for a fixed fee in gold was offered. This idea was raised in response to the high volume of players having to world hop to get the best spots on the island. Following feedback and discussion, we've decided to withdraw this question. We would still like to reduce the necessity for world hop, as this is not a positive game experience. Instead, we will explore options involving tweaking the fishing poles around the island that make world hopping less necessary. So they're going to be just changing how the poles spawn instead of having to buy a private instance version of the island to train.
And I feel like resource competition is a part of the game, so I feel like having to buy like an instance area kind of gets rid of that.
Yeah. Like, the only reason
Yeah.
that there are instance areas for bosses, for like the bosses they add nowadays, is because of like people DDoSing servers to steal things from people.
Yeah, and that makes sense, but it wouldn't really make sense with
Yeah.
fishing.
Farming contract balancing. We are thrilled to see the Farming Guild content within it being engaged with. In particular, the farming contracts issued by Guildmaster are highly popular. Our only concern relating to this is the ease at which players can gain vast numbers of high-tier seats. Our plan is to balance the content without playing a flat nerf. This will likely take the form of replacing the difficulty tier system, the one based on the length of time it takes to grow the contracted plant. In other words, players should receive more seeds for plants that take longer to grow. This is something we'll look into. What do you think about that?
Well, if we're going by the farming guide that we talked about earlier, the time that it takes to grow wouldn't really matter if you already have a bunch of plants already grown and waiting for the contract to be done.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's true, but it still does limit you because you can't get a bunch of 160-minute plants in a row.
Yeah, I was gonna say like because even if you do have like like a magic tree already grown and waiting, like as soon as you do it, you have to start growing another one if you think you're gonna get another magic tree anytime soon, and that take an extra day or whatever.
I think that's fair to lock the better chance at expensive seeds behind having to grow trees and stuff.
Yeah, I actually kind
Instead
of
of
like it.
go grow something that takes like 2 hours and then come back and get 200k.
And I kind of as much as like everybody likes to abuse some of like the systems of and like to get the most XP and most money out of it, like I kind of like the idea that you still have to do, like as you get incentivized to do those other contracts, because like just filtering through them to get the quick ones, like I don't know, it just makes it feel a little more
Yeah.
cheesy.
All right, now on to the next one, the Seed Vault. Launch of Kepos Lilians has also introduced many new items in the game, adding further pressure to players already running low on bank space. For technical reasons, it is not possible to offer my bank space at this time. However, we would like to offer some relief. For a long time, one of the major culprits in taking up precious slots in the bank has been seeds. With the release of the Farm Guild, this has only become a bigger issue. The suggestion we are keen to offer is a seed vault that would be located in the Tier 1 area of the Farm Guild, close to the bank. This would be capable of holding every type of farmable seed in any quantity. However, the bank would only hold seeds, so cannot store watered seeds or saplings. The seed vault will not be available to Ultimate Ironman. Should a seed vault as described develop be added to the first tier of the Farm Guild? What do you guys think about that? I think that's a pretty good idea.
Is the first tier where you need level 85?
45, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I like it too, just
the 45 area.
I mean, It's also just a convenient way to sort your seeds.
I think it's nice because you don't have to have that extra tab in your bank that's just for seeds, and you don't have to worry about like where they might be in your bank if it's not organized right.
And something they mentioned on the stream was having the ability to withdraw from the seed bank at any farming location, but only withdraw, not put in. You'd still have to go to the farming guild to deposit.
But there's not really many instances where you would have like gotten a seed randomly from a farming patch that I know of. So like it's not like it would really matter if you could deposit them into
It's
the bank.
more for like if there are farming spots next to a Slayer assignment and you're depositing your seeds without leaving the Slayer area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
I thought that was fair. All right, so that was question 5. Now to question 6 and 7. So let's see. All right, so question 6. Should a chemical Hydra have a Hydra head in its loop table? This would be used to recolor the Slayer helm and require spending 1,000 Slayer points at the reward shop. Ooh, that Slayer helm looks nice. And then 7.
That's what I was
If
thinking.
the question above passes and a Hydra head is added, should players be able to mount it into their skill hall of their house? So that you could display the Hydra head in your house. That'd be really cool to have a Hydra's head just sitting in your house.
Yeah, it would.
Like you could get multiple too, so you can like have because there's a Hydra, multiple heads and everything. You just mount them all over the place.
Well, you can build multiple skill halls and just mount multiple heads. Yeah.
Yeah, just all Hydras, like 3 skill halls filled with Hydra heads. Yeah, I like the idea.
So, the next area, they're going to be adding the jar of chemicals. So the jars are like 1 in 1k drops from high level bosses, which let you put like an entire like diorama in your house that looks really cool. And the Hydra one's delayed, but they're working on it. So let me look up a picture of that. Jar of souls. Are you guys looking forward to eventually being able to do the boss, the Hydra?
I didn't really even know about it, to be honest. But yes, now
So-
I am.
I'm looking forward to being able to fight any boss, really.
So I put in the text chat a link to all the boss displays and what they look like. They look pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. It's like a full diorama of the boss. It's even better than a boss.
Aw, the Kraken's cute.
Oh, during Christmas they put a Santa hat on the Kraken.
Aw.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like the Vorkath.
Vorkath? That's the undead dragon.
Yeah.
So
that one looks really cool.
They're going to add something like that for the Hydra, so you can have like a Hydra display in your house.
Cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I like it. It'd be even funnier if like they did something like the animations in the Varrock Museum. Like you click on like the exhibit and like they move around.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they do that. I haven't gotten one of those because I can only fight 1 or 2 of those bosses. One.
Well, I mean, I doubt they'd actually do that. That'd be a lot of work.
Yeah, I can only fight like 4 of those bosses, but I haven't fought a lot of them. Anyway, question 8. Should an agility shortcut requiring 88 agility that allows players to go directly to the alchemical Hydra without being attacked by other monsters be created? This takes the same time as walking through the dungeon. What do you guys think about that? So the issue is people die to the Hydra, and if you die on the way to the Hydra, you lose all your stuff that you died with. Like, it gets destroyed instantly.
Yeah, that sucks. I think the agility shortcut's fine. Like that also incentivizes people again to actually train their agility, which not many people want to do, us included.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, something like that. Like I could see that just being really frustrating if you died not even at the boss, but on your way to the boss, and you lose all that
Don't forget,
equipment.
you need to be wearing the special boots, and you probably died while you were wearing them. So you have to remember to go buy another pair from the Slayer Master before you go down, or you can die from the damage from walking on the floor.
Oh yeah, that would probably happen to me personally. So I'm for the agility shortcut. I love shortcuts.
What do you think, Alice?
I mean, I think it's weird that they don't have one, given that you can get your stuff back from dying to the boss, but you couldn't get it back from dying outside the boss.
Well, the problem is you can die once to the boss and it'll save you your gear, but if you die somewhere else, they don't want it to be like a permanent storage, so they delete your stuff.
Oh, that's really crappy.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're going back to get your stuff and you die, then your stuff is gone.
Asking about adding an agility shortcut.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, I'd like the agility shortcut just because, like, I mean, not everybody even, like, a lot of people don't even bother getting their agility up that high, so it's not like it's just giving everybody the chance to just be able to exploit it. It's just, it's something you have to actually work for.
Sounds good. Alright, so the next one, worms, drakes, and regular hydras. Since release, many of you who are slaying drakes and hydras have said that the effort required to kill them is too high relative to the reward. Following this feedback, we'd like to offering the following changes. Should shields and potions offering an anti-dragonfire effect offer protection from the drake's special attack, the usual levels of protection will apply, meaning an anti-dragon shield alone will not provide full protection. Should poison protection, such as the effects of a super anti-poison potion and antidotes, have the amount of damage the player receives from the damage over time effect dealt by standing in the poison pool from a regular Hydra special attack?
As far as question 10, I think that makes sense. Like you already have an anti-poison potion. Sure, like it might be a different kind of poison, but it's not like they really go into that much specificity with other monsters.
Yeah, well, the Hydra places like poison pools that you have to dodge, but apparently it does like it hits through prayers, and it does quite a bit of damage. So having a way to like have that would be good.
Yeah, and the idea is that it's poison.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's nothing wrong with the game being difficult, and not everything has to give great rewards.
The problem is the only good thing they drop are the 1 in 1,000 dragon knives and their bones.
Well, like, not every creature has to give you a crap ton of money when you kill it. That's the point of, like, having different creatures is... Like,
yeah, the problem is these guys require 95 Slayer. So they should at least let you break even while fighting them. I think that's the idea.
It's a regular Hydra, it's not the boss Hydra either, which is
it wouldn't reduce damage from the boss. It would only be the little minion, the little guys.
And as far as number 9, the one about the Drake special attack,
that's good. That's fine because the dragon shields are not best in slot for your offhand, and the super potions are super expensive.
Yeah, I agree, but I feel like what I'd rather see is just like maybe because like
or they can make the drops
this
better.
is like being lore picky. Oh well, yeah, I think making drops better is always fun, but me being like lore picky, like drakes and hydras and worms are all supposed to be like kind of a different species from the dragon.
So here's the official lore. The anti-dragon effects, like the dragon hunter crossbow, the dragon slayer lance, and the super dragonfire potions, are dragonkin made for the creatures made by the dragonkin race, which are what the hydras, the worms, the drakes, and regular dragons are. So they're all made from this one race. Came to the world and made all these minions because they were trying to protect their areas, and then they got loose eventually, and now we're murdering them, and that's why all of the things work on them. That's the official lore, isn't it? It doesn't mean the names make sense, but
yeah, okay, that makes enough sense to me.
Once you get into the lore for the raid, the first raid, and Dragon Slayer 2, you'll learn more about the Dragonkin. So I think both of those are fine. The next ones, however, should they increase the XP from the bones? I don't really think so, because they're already pretty decent. Like, the Drake bones would be better than Dragon bones, and the Worm bones would be about equal. And the Hydra bones would be like twice a Dragon bone.
You know what? If they had If they didn't change 9 and 10 and made it so their drops were crappy and they were hard to kill, but they increased the bones, I don't think that would be a problem. I think it would be more balanced than having the bones be increased and making them easier to kill.
Well, you never know.
smart.
That might actually happen. Because there's going to be questions that people vote on. And if it doesn't get 75%, it won't happen.
I do like the idea of doing like kind of one or the other, and I kind of do like the idea of increasing the bones. At first, I was kind of against it, like because I was thinking like oh, dragons are like if they're supposed to be like all minions of the dragonkin or whatever, like it would make sense that they wouldn't have too much difference. Although I guess since they're higher Slayer level, right, than most dragons
have
the Hydras
no
and the
Slayer
Drakes.
requirement. Worms are 62, Drakes are 84, and Hydras are 95. 95 Slayer is 3/4 of the way to 99. Pretty much.
And what about as far as like the difficulty of like dragons versus these seem to be like they're harder to fight than at least like half the dragons, because I know there's different tiers.
For the colored dragons, the chromatic dragons, I can kill 100 an hour using only extended regular dragon fire, not super, and no prayer potions. And for these, I probably would have a hard time killing about 5 in inventory, and that includes using food. I wouldn't use any food or potions for killing the chromatic dragons.
I feel like if they make it too easy, then the game is going to have a really, it's going to be really easy to max everything, and there won't be a real reason to keep playing it once you get to a higher level.
But if you make it one or the other, like I think if the bones did increase though, I think it would actually be pretty nice, because it would also offer another alternative to increasing your prayer level, especially for higher level players who are already high, they can save the bones and use them themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
And if they're already so much stronger, like a stronger race of creature, then it makes sense that their bones would give you more prayer XP.
Yep. No, the way I see it is either 9 and 10 will pass, or 11 through 13 will pass. I doubt people will vote for both of them. And
I mean, I'm sure there'll be going to be some people who
I think it'll be more likely that 9 and 10 pass than 11 through 13.
Of course, I mean, there could always be the situation where people, don't only vote for the one that they want, and don't vote against the one they don't want, because unless you really kind of realize that it should be one or the other, and it's always also up to people's opinions, but yeah, I do agree it should be one or the other, and hopefully if something comes up where something like question 9 and then also question 11, 12, and 13 get passed, hopefully maybe the team, like the old school RuneScape team, can kind of realize that it probably shouldn't be all 4 of them.
All right, you guys ready for the next part? Does someone else want to read?
Yeah.
Or what's up?
For the next part, reading. Do you want to read, Abia? For the next, because he asked if she was letting the dog out real quick, but
yeah, I asked, did anyone want to read the Hydra Tail part?
Michael can.
Sure, I guess I'll read it. All right, so just the whole thing, or just the poll question?
Yeah, you can just read the whole thing, but you can summarize if you want.
Oh.
All right, I'll just do it. The Hydra Tail is a drop from the Hydra. It can be combined with Bone Crusher and Dragon Bone Necklace to create a Bone Crusher necklace. Its current price is based on the high elk price, which is bad, so we want to add new uses for it. Enter the Bone Whip. So it's a new item combined with the Hydra Tail and a standard whip. It's a 72 attack, non-degradable, and has stats in between the standard whip and the tentacle whip. The tentacle whip is a tier 75 weapon. So the tentacle whip gives +8 to the slash and 4 to the strength. The bone whip would offer 4 slash and 1 strength. As mentioned above, be non-degradable, and combining the 2 parts would consume the Hydra Tail. In PvP, the bone whip will split and drop the whip, and the Hydra Tail would be destroyed. Outside of PvP, the bone whip will be dropped by itself. It also have a right-click dismantle, but it will destroy the Hydra Tail when you do so. So, what do you guys think of that? A level 72 weapon.
Well, personally, I always like just the idea of diversity. You know, your ability to like just there's like more weapons in the game that you can choose from, so that not everything is so set in stone. You know, like because right now it's just kind of if you
Mhm.
read the
It's
guides and
like
you kind of like
buy
look
a
to see
weapon,
what's
then you're
best.
done.
Everybody does the same thing. Yeah, everybody does the same thing.
And
So it'd be kind of nice to just have like alternative methods. You know, like how if you had an alternative method to like the Robin Hood
mhm.
outfit. But
the alternative to the boots, yeah. So just so you
yeah.
know, the tentacle whip lasts for 10,000 attacks, like 10,000 hits, and then you need to add another whip to it. So every 10,000 attacks, it costs one whip. What's a whip cost?
Wow.
3 mil?
Yeah, I think it's like a little more than that.
So it costs about 300 GP per attack. So this would get you closer to that, less strength bonus, but the kind of mock-up looks kind of interesting. So I think it'd be fine to add. It already moved the, huh?
Why is the high elk price so
For
high?
the Hydra Tail?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want it to fall to like 20k the week it came out. Because they knew its current use was almost useless.
So then why'd they make it?
Because they were going, like, this was like at the very end, oh, this thing's useless. We'll give it a high elk so it doesn't drop too far, and then we'll add something better later on.
Oh.
Well, my question is why the whip gets used up, but you still have the tail afterwards, and you have to use a new whip.
The tail gets used up,
Okay.
and it's the opposite of the tentacle whip, where the tentacle isn't used up, but you need a new whip.
I like that idea. Because it does give a good reason for the tails. It would keep their prices up, and like if I remember right, it's like 1 in 500 drop chance, right? And
yes, and this suggestion has moved the tail to 2.7 mil from its previous like 800k, where it was 100k below the high elk price. It was so bad.
Yeah, I like the idea because like
why wouldn't you just high elk it?
Because people are trying to sell it on the GE because they couldn't be bothered. That's how bad it was.
Although wait, didn't you say like the whip, like the regular whip, base whip is like 3 mil, right? And right now the dragon, like the
Yes.
Hydra tail is like 2 mil.
It would make the bone whip about 5.5 mil, which is about half what the abyssal dagger costs.
Yeah, but I was saying like right now the tail itself, if it's worth like 2 mil or whatever, like that's almost as much as like the whips are costing, and like at that point, it's kind of the same.
So
like I think it'll drop obviously. So to all those people out there trying to buy up 2 mil cost Hydra tails, maybe wait a week.
So
I don't trust his opinion on economics.
It gives you like 3% accuracy and maybe one higher max hit.
Than the whip?
Yeah.
Do you think that's worth it?
Over time, if you're doing Slayer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
it also help at bosses, so you don't have to spend, because like accuracy is what matters most at bosses.
I think it's cuter too.
I like it. I like the idea of it, just because it does give you another option where you don't have to have that really high tier whip for your next boost to your attack and everything.
Yeah, you don't have to move up to the tentacle whip, which is 300 coins per hit, which is insane.
It's cheaper too, so it's a nice option. But I think, right now it's not much cheaper, so I think hopefully the price doesn't stay up there, because then it kind of almost defeats like half the purpose.
It'll probably end up like 1.5 mil.
That's where I think yeah.
What you'll be able to do is buy a whip when you get to 70 attack, use that for a bit, and then you'll have enough money from Slayer to buy the tail to upgrade your weapon.
Yeah, that's what I think. It sounds pretty cool. That whole idea, and I do like the look of it. It looks kind of neat.
All right, last couple questions. 15. Should we make it so that gaining favor with one current house no longer removes favor from the others? The overall time to reach the maximum favor in all houses would not be impacted. And if so, should we add an extra 10k XP lamp reward from the mini quests to get all of the favor? If you've already completed the mini quest, you'll still get the lamp. What do you guys think about that?
I like the game being difficult, so I don't think that everything has to be easy.
I kind of gotta agree with Abby on this one, just because as far as like how the houses kind of work, it just makes sense that you would lose favor doing other tasks for other houses, because like, oh, you're helping the a rival house, like, screw you.
I think that was the original like lore thought, but the current lore has it where they're all trying to work together to fight off like certain threats. So that's why they're trying to change it for like a lore reason. It makes more sense this way.
Well, oh, okay, so it's for lore, because I mean, if it's for lore,
Yeah.
it makes, I guess so, but
Like they've already made it twice as fast to gain favor. Like you do that one little quest and you get twice as much favor. So like it's not like it'll make it any faster.
So then, what's the whole point of like I mean, I started the quest so that I wouldn't lose favor between houses. But what's the whole point of that quest, the mini quest, like the alliance mini quest? Because I
To
thought
build
that
the
was,
statue.
yeah, but I thought that was kind of supposed to like make kind of like making an alliance between the houses sort of deal.
Yeah, so what the lore is you go there and they're fighting. But as you help out the houses, they realize that there are other threats and that they don't have to fight each other as you gain favor with them.
But that's as you help out the houses. It's not like you just start with them all being friends, which that's what question 15 kind of implies.
Yeah, I agree. Like it like I like the fact that there's the idea of the mini quest kind of like giving you something like that. I mean, sure, the 10k XP is kind of tempting and making things easier, but I kind of like the like I agree with Abby. Like it's nice. It's nice just to like have it be kind of difficult sometimes, and like it just makes sense.
Yeah, well, I don't have an opinion either way. I finished it before they added the 2 times favor gain, so.
Don't be salty.
Hey, this way you'd get 10k XP.
Maybe.
Alright, next one. X marks the spot. We'd like to take this opportunity to present Moded's latest quest. As briefly mentioned on this week's Q&A stream, Moded has written a quest designed to tie Zaya to the rest of Gilnor. Aimed at free players, this quest will also encourage new users, particularly on mobile, to find out more about Zaya and Great Corinne. Veos has long been a lover of treasure hunts, and his latest hunt has brought him to Lumbridge. However, not knowing the area well, Veos could use some help finding this treasure. X Marks the Spot is a new free-to-play novice quest with no requirements. It's mainly targeted at low levels, and it's designed to act as a small introduction to Corinne, while providing more links between Corinne and the mainland. In this quest, the player must embark on a short treasure hunt for Veos. Completion will reward 1 quest point, 200 coins, and 300 XP lamp.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Is Great Corinne, that's only a members area, right?
Let me look. There is, so, I could have sworn that part of it is non-members. No, never mind. The non-members area is, south of the ogres. Yeah, you're correct. It's all members, but it's meant for people, when you start mobile, you get a week free trial.
Yeah.
So they want to like tempt you into looking at Zaya and figuring out what it's like, because Zaya, the entire area has been designed in the new time, so it looks so much better than the old areas.
Yeah.
And it's just really fun there too. Like there's a lot of neat stuff to check out, and I think that it would really entice players to like just buy the membership.
Well, not even that, but when I first started playing the game, I had no idea that it was there, and like you kind of see him in Port Sarah, but like there's not really anything about how to get there or anything else in the game about Zaya. Well, yeah, you can look at the mini map, but unless you have a wiki up, it won't really tell you much about it.
What I was gonna say is you look at the mini map, and Zaya is larger than the entire free to play area.
Yeah, and it's like, but you have to like. I'm going on the mini map right now, and you have to like scroll out a lot and move over, and like my mini map's being really annoying for some reason.
Yeah, but what I was saying is like there's this huge area, but you literally there's no way to find out about it unless you look up how to start the quest that takes you there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. So I think that's a great idea.
I do too. And I'm just sad I'll have to do it to get my quest point cape back. At least it won't take me 3 hours.
Hopefully not. Don't get lost in Lumbridge.
That's the worst thing about having the quest cape is every single time a new quest comes out, you have to finish it the first day to get your cape back.
Why the first day?
Because the cape is really good.
Oh, okay. So you don't lose the cape or anything, right? Well, you do, but...
You lose the ability to use it or wear it, yeah.
Okay.
But the cape, its ability, it teleports you right next to a fairy ring infinitely.
I want that, but I also don't want to do any quests ever.
I don't think you could do Monkey Madness 2 or Dragon Slayer 2 yet.
I accept that challenge.
Right. Question. Okay. In feedback, many of you suggested that while in Konar's tasks, it would be more natural for an item to drop that could be exchanged with Konar for the items on her loot table rather than the monsters dropping in the loot themselves. This would make drops received on certain tasks feel less artificial and give Konar a more active role in rewarding players for bringing balance to Galenor. The second question below is also being offered following feedback and would still apply if the first question passes. Should monsters drop a key or similar item which would be given to Konar in exchange for a role in her loot table, so as not affect the loot table itself or chances of getting any particular items? Should players receive a message in the chat box to notify of a monster rolling on the loot table? This would be off by default and be enabled by talking to Konar.
I'm not sure what it means by it would be more natural for them to drop an item.
Well, it's like instead of...
Right now, they're just like, you kill like a Bloodveld and you get like 350 ore or something.
Well, that's... I don't know, you kill the Bloodveld and you get a pizza, like, that's still kind of weird.
And don't like Bloodveld, like, I mean, Bloodvelds I think is a bad, you know, just example, because don't they just, like, eat everything or something like that?
Yeah. I think it's mostly people want to just, like, stack up keys and then go to her and then feel the, like, the dopamine of rolling on something by spending something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care either way.
What would be more fun? You getting just this random drop, or you getting a key, which will be something random later on?
The first one. Because then you're always on the edge. You're like, oh my god, am I going to get it this time? No, I'm not.
But what if you went to Konar with 28 keys, and you were like, maybe it's this one, or maybe the next one? I don't know. I like the key idea.
I like the idea. At the same time, I'm like, I mean, I guess you're already gonna have to go over to her. Like, it's not like it's gonna really do that much. But
you're gonna go get your next assignment anyway, and there's a bank right there.
But it's kind of also nice when you're, you know, like when you're fighting something, and I guess you still kind of would get a little bit of excitement from just seeing the key. Like, oh, a key! Like I get to use this later, as opposed to you know, just like because I do like you know getting items from like this.
So.
Hellhounds and stuff.
How is them dropping a key more natural? Like, why would Konar have a chest that would be like... Oh, it wouldn't actually be a key.
They're
it's just like
a
a
key
word
to like give you the idea.
Oh,
so the idea is she's assigning you to kill things because they're putting the world out of balance. So they would drop like some sort of energy or something, which you would turn into her, and she would give you a reward in return.
Okay, that makes more sense than a key. I was like, why would they drop a key?
It'd also be nice if it was like stackable or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. But they definitely should put it in the chat box. Like 19.
Or maybe even just like a charge, like you get an item that you get specifically from her and like it holds charges or something. I don't know, because like you kind of have to think like what would be the natural... Energy is a good idea, but it's not like you can just like hold energy or something.
You're overthinking it.
The current lore would probably be like some sort of stolen energy of Guthix that you would turn into her, which she would use to restore the balance.
Okay, so then it could just be something like, you know, like just some like gem or something yeah.
It would look like a gem. It'd be some sort of energy thing.
So why do you think they should receive a message in the chat box?
So you know you got the Konar drop, because some of the Konar drops look like you got the rare drop table or you just got something.
I mean, I think it should work somewhat like The bird's nest, like, you get a notification, but then it obviously goes away after some time.
What do you mean?
Like, you get the notification, but, like, I don't know.
You mean the Windows notification?
No, I don't want that.
I think she was saying like the bird. You were saying bird's nest. So you mean like the noise you hear when it happens?
I don't know. Never mind.
Rather than a text, so like you hear something happen. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, those are the questions, and we'll probably see that blog pretty soon. The last part is just drop table changes that we already looked at. So they're gonna be doing away with some of the crappy stuff, adding more rune, changing all the herbs to seeds. And that's about it. Alright, on to the next topic. The Cabos fixes. So they've already made some changes. I don't know if you guys have seen this already. Mostly they're just minor, like the brimstone boots actually look like boots. The ferocious gloves actually look like gloves instead of just like wrist braces. And the seed boxes look like seed boxes.
I like the presents though.
I know, they were cute.
What about the new seed box? Do you like that one?
You mean the packet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks more like a packet. I don't know. It's okay. I like the present better. It was cute.
I missed like the little present you're opening up. Like, yay! Christmas morning.
And then the farming guild doors, which I just told you about. I told you about earlier.
Yeah, that's nice. Nobody can really deny that's nice. They still need to fix it. I think a little bit, so you don't just like get stuck on it all the time.
I've never gotten stuck on it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll click on an herb or a plant on the other side, and I'll just run through it and go to the thing.
Well, I guess my character is just special.
I guess so. And then they nerfed the stupid fish weapon that Abby really likes.
I love it.
They changed high elk values because they inflated them to stop prices from dropping too badly. And then just some fixes. They made the abyssal boss attackable if you get assigned abyssal creatures in that location. Fix some animations, fix some chat. Basically, that's about it. Nothing else really special that I can see in the more section.
So yeah, really, it's just like I think because I know like we've both experienced some problems with the doors, and I've seen other people experience problems. Like I would just like to see them tweak it a little bit more, unless they already have, and I just didn't know. I haven't been there.
The only other way to do it would be to be something that it would not be a door. It'd be like a magical energy barrier that you would have to click and walk through slowly every time you tried to go through.
Can't it be like a person stands there and like if you try to go through, they tell you can't, but like
no, they can't do that code wise.
Like Ocarina of Time with like the little like in the starting area.
Sadly, they can't do that code wise. Their only options are the things that auto walk you through them, the barrier you would have to manually click every time, or doors that you would have to manually click every time.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Or it could be like the Dorkshan like mine, like the thing you have to break down. It could just be like once you hit the level 65 farming or whatever, you can like, I don't know, like water something or remove some plant that's in the way.
So the options are what they currently have, what they originally had, or something like Port Phasmatis.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Options. Oh, you want them to put a clickable barrier?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. It just doesn't make sense to have the gate open and then have you slow down to walk through it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're getting towards the end now. We're going to go on to the next place. The player created Kebos suggestions. So our first one is the corner drop table suggestions. It has like all the blue and black stuff. If you guys just want to open the post and then click on the image to make it bigger. All right, we will go there. So first up, Unique's Shard of Balance. Shards of Balance are a rare ingredient that can be brought to the 3 Tassikal in Mount Kurulum to upgrade an Obsidian Cape obsidian staff, or an obsidian sword. More items could be added later. The Obsidian Cape S. The upgraded Obsidian Cape has no requirements to equip like the regular version and grants defensive stats on par with the Infernal Cape. However, it does not grant any offensive bonuses or prayer bonuses. Obsidian Cape S are tradable, do not degrade, and cannot be converted back into regular Obsidian Capes. The Obsidian Staff. The upgraded Obsidian Staff requires 65 magic, 65 attack to equip, slightly greater than the regular version. It slightly increased stats in all positive fields, grants unlimited fire and earth runes, and increases the max hit of spells that use fire or earth runes by 2. It's tradable, non-degradable, and can't be converted back. What do you think about those two suggestions so far?
I don't think that the Obsidian Cape should have defensive stats on par with the Infernal Cape.
Well,
I don't think
the
it
point of
really
the Infernal
deserves
Cape
that.
Is the offensive stats. You
Yeah.
don't wear it for the defensive stats.
So this would just be a slightly worse one. Like, it doesn't give offensive or prayer bonus.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't have to do anything to get it. You can just buy it.
What, the Obsidian Cake?
Most things with defensive stats are really only for lower levels. Because when you're a high level, you have a high enough defense that you can ignore defense on gear and just go for pure attack.
Yeah, I guess that's
this
true.
would be for people in like the 60s for their stats.
I always like the idea of variety. I'm always pretty much open for adding weapons in, especially if they're not like super strong, like things that are more mid tier, or like lower tier, just to like fill in the gaps between equipment.
Yep. And what about the staff? So, I need to check something real quick. Keep going.
Is there any staff currently that gives unlimited fire and earth runes?
Lava?
Lava? Huh.
Alright.
I feel like you should also require a certain Slayer level for these items.
You think so?
Yeah, because they're Slayer unique items.
So, well, the thing you need to know about the staff is the staff is two-handed.
Okay,
you
so you
can't
don't.
equip an offhand.
All right. Well,
So
the reason
it
why
would
I said
be-
the reason why I
Slayer?
said it should be, it's just because I don't know. I feel like these things should be either that or they should be untradeable. Just because.
I think the point is to give people who can't do Konar yet a new set of weapons to use that would make money for the people who can do it.
So how would people who can use the Obsidian Staff not be able to use Konar yet?
Because just because you have 65 in magic and attack doesn't mean you're 75 combat.
I guess.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
you could be like you could be like 50 combat with those two stats.
you could be like a defense purist or
Pretty unlikely, but
Yeah, I just thought like anything to make the Obsidian staff better.
I don't
right
know
now
much about it.
It's two-handed, so it's useless. So make
wait.
it increase.
I thought this was a new weapon that they're adding. Okay,
It
so
is.
this is
It would be an up. No, it would be an upgrade. It would require the old item.
okay. That sounds fine. I feel like would the upgraded item be tradable, or would it just be
Yeah.
like you?
They're all tradable.
I feel like the drop rate of 1 in 100 is pretty high.
Yeah, it'd be 1 in 100 of a Konar drop, Michael.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, then that's
Yeah.
fine.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I was just thinking like as far as like then like just the regular staff would be kind of like a crappy drop. Yeah, still, like sure, like you can upgrade.
No,
it
it's
to the
not
better
a
one.
drop. You're getting the shard that you can use to upgrade a weapon.
You can
or...
use the shard to upgrade one of these things. So you can just choose whichever one's most expensive.
Oh, I
So
meant
it's
like.
just.
Oh, I just meant like if it's upgrading. So it's upgrading it. So like the original Obsidian. Oh, so it's the original Obsidian staff, not like a drop from.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, the original Obsidian staff from the Tazara creatures in Karamja.
All right, that makes sense to me.
Next, the Obsidian Sword requires 65 attack to equip, slightly greater than the regular version. It has slightly increased offensive stats and strength bonus and gains a special attack accelerate. 65% energy. The next hit gains 50% accuracy and 10% max hit. Then the next two attacks after are one tick faster. Switching weapons removes the effect and delays your attack by one tick.
On the other sprite side, I could also say that they look like shears. So there's that going for them.
That's what the Obsidian Sword looks like.
Yeah,
So what this would do is it would give you, I think it's about equal to a dragon sword, and then if you wear the Berserker necklace, which costs 3 mil and reduces your defenses, it would be slightly better than a dragon longsword, roughly equal to a dragon scimitar.
I mean, that's fine. Like, it's kind of cool that we would have weapons that weren't just the dragon scimitar.
Yeah, I agree.
And it would be another stab weapon.
Oh, cool.
And I just think that it's adding more variety. I think that's pretty cool, just in general. I like to see people with different weapons and stuff. Like, it's kind of boring when everybody just has the same, dragon scimitar, dragon, whatever.
Yeah, just something else. It'd be nice. And you could, if this came out, you could just skip the dragon scimitar. You just buy this.
Well, isn't it a little bit worse unless you have that necklace? Or
yeah, but it's only a little bit worse, and it requires no quest. Like, the only other weapons you could use would end up costing more or require a quest. So this would give you about a dragon level weapon without any quests.
I'm sad now. I wish I had waited to do Monkey Madness.
Well, this isn't even like a poll yet. This is just an idea that somebody else.
This is just, some player made this idea. But you're almost at the point where you use a whip. So
yeah, I think I can. I can get one. I just don't have money.
Yeah. So the last ones are the Kalis Shield. Requires 65 defense and offers great defensive, but no offensive stats. Ooh, those are really good stats. Look at that range defense.
Wow.
Can be interacted with changing the color of the symbol and the bonus effect. Blue symbol, while fighting a monster you have been assigned as a Slayer task, there's a 15% chance to have incoming damage. Red symbol, while fighting a monster you've been assigned as a Slayer task, there's a 15% chance to reroll your accuracy, attempt to hit again if your attack would miss. That sounds pretty cool.
Sounds interesting.
It sounds too OP.
How would they toggle that? Would you have to go into your inventory, right click?
Yeah. So you think it's OP, but you have to give up your Dragon Defender to use it. Yams.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to have a defender when you're doing ranged.
Well, this is ranged defense bonus that I guess.
You would be using the Book of Law while doing range.
Okay.
Most people don't use... Like, you'd be using one of the shields, one of the ranged offhand that gives you an attack bonus. Once again, this is like a defensive thing that's a side grade.
And this isn't giving attack bonuses either. It's for defending against ranged attacks. So
yeah, defending against, and it only happens on a Slayer task, so it wouldn't happen while fighting anything else.
Like, I don't really think it'll take the defender's place at all. I think it's more like the difference between like the Slayer helm and like the what is it, what's the name of the helm? The other one that
Nezi helm.
Yeah, that one. Because like. Yeah, you'd use it in Slayer tasks. I mean, I think
Nezi helm has better stats, but the Slayer helm gives you so much. Like, it has better defensive stats, but the Slayer helm gives you better damage. So most people go for damage.
I thought people just used it because of the XP increase.
There's no XP increase. It's 16% more accuracy and damage.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
And you have a gem, so you don't have to carry it.
So. The point of these shields, the way I see it, is for like another mid-level player, like 65 defense. At 65 defense, you don't really have the defense on, like, if you get a really hard task, like, say, Black Demons, to just tank it like you can with, like, a defender.
With prayer.
Or Steel Dragons.
Yeah, I don't even have 65 defense.
Yeah, so like this would help for people around your defense. So if you got like black demons or greater demons, you might not have to use prayer while fighting them.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
it'd be nice for people too who like haven't.
Someone at my like with 80, 90 defense, they can just tank them. They don't really
Well, I
have to
can
use much prayer.
kill greater demons now, but I can't do that with black demons.
Yeah. So this would be sort of to help with that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And the 15% chance for like having like like those two symbols like are pretty neat. Like
they're not super strong, but they're pretty useful.
Yeah, because like if again, I think it's for like you said, it's for fighting things. If you're a mid-level character with lower defense, for fighting stronger monsters, because like I guess like it doesn't really give you much attack bonuses, but the 15% reroll chance is also nice, just because then you're not just always hitting zeros forever.
And this way, if you didn't have the attack and strength to get a defender, you could also just use the red shield.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. So like to help you get in the damage.
Yep. All right, and then the last part. Boop. Other changes: clue scrolls drop 20% more often, and superior creatures spawn 10% more often. I would like both of those.
I don't.
Thank you very much. Why?
I don't think we have to have all the Slayer Masters. Like, she shouldn't be more overpowered than all of the other ones.
Yeah, so far it does seem like if we do all this stuff, like she's gonna be just so much better than all.
They should do that for like other Slayer Masters, so that there's some variability and not everyone is doing Konar.
I just want more superior creatures. That's all.
Yeah, so they could give it to someone else. Everything doesn't have to be from Konar.
Because like, isn't right now the Konar Slayer Master isn't she better than like the next higher like combat level? No, she's not.
Best points, worse XP.
More money.
More money.
So she has more money but less XP. You said, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what people half the time do Slayer for anyway, so, like, she kind of, like, in my opinion, she's better.
The point is, Slayer's already an agonizingly slow skill. It's the slowest one in the game. So...
Tell that to my agility.
It is an actual trade-off. The best Slayer XP you can get in the game is, like, 90k, 80k an hour, I think. In comparison, I'm cooking sharks while paying no attention, and I'm making money and getting like 300k XP an hour.
Although, actually, I'm looking now, there's also right underneath those two is the rune item drops in larger quantities.
Yeah, I just skipped that because that's just part of drop changes that they're already making.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, I'd like that, because right now when you get like the rune items from those drops, it kind of just like, you're just like, I'd rather be getting something else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't complain.
All right. Next suggestion. This one's kind of cool. So, the Lazula gem. It's kind of cool. It's like kind of unique.
Is this on like the next subject?
Yeah, it's the next link. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was like, I can't scroll down anymore.
It is the suggestion Konar drop table improvement Lazula. So this would add a new gem attained through the drop table. Same tier as Dragonstone, add feature specific to Zaya. So this would be like a Zaya version of Dragonstone jewelry. Gem obtained by receiving 2 halves of the Obsidian key, which are rarely dropped from the Konar drop table. So the key parts would be like 1 in 50, and you would need both parts to open the chest to get the gem. The gem can be made in different jewelry at the same level as Dragonstone, but must be made in the Mount Kurlum Sulfur Furnace. All jewelry has the same stats as the Dragonstone analogs. The Amulet of Honor. Reduce damage from Lizardmen and teleport to Shazian House.
I like that.
When charged, each jewelry has 5 teleports to a specific location. Must be charged again once all teleports are used. Bracelet of Valor. Increased chance of receiving shards and totem pieces in the catacombs, along with a teleport to the catacombs. Necklace of Knowledge. Increased chance of receiving clue scrolls from skilling activities throughout Zaya, and a teleport to Arceus and Piscarilius. And the Ring of Plunder. Increased chance of landing on the Konar drop table, and a teleport to Lovakin. What do you guys think of those? They aren't really
I would love
overpowered.
having teleports. Like, I don't necessarily think their abilities are great, but I think I think their abilities are too good. But I think the ability to not have to run all over Zaya would be really nice.
You think the abilities are too good? Which ones?
Yeah. Especially the Ring of Plunder.
Well, the thing with the Ring of Plunder is you'd either
Is it
need
like
to-
this version of the Ring of Wealth?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you would
I
either
mean, I guess
need
that's
to
fine.
right before you killed something while you're doing a task, you would have to swap to that ring from your current ring for every single kill, or you'd have to give up one of your damage boosting rings for it.
Yes, we use damage boosting rings. Totally. We're not lazy. Or
Well,
broke.
So that would be the balancing on that ring. You'd have to either swap for every kill, or you would have to give up your damage boosting ring.
I mean, me having fairly like little knowledge especially compared to you, and also compared to Abia. One thing I see is just like I feel like they should also be careful with teleports just in general because
Did you read the bottom?
they're in charge, so 75 magic.
They're charged
They're gonna be a
enchanted
crap
by
ton
a
of
new
money.
spell on the spell book. This can only be cast near the Dark Altar. Requires 75 magic, 100 soul runes, and 1,000 mind runes.
Okay, so they'd be expensive.
It would cost like 50k to recharge them, and they would have 5 teleports. So that's 10k
Honestly,
per
I'm so
teleport.
lazy that I would probably do that.
That makes the teleports a lot more fair, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like gonna
'Cause-
say like teleports can be exploited for certain things, and I just just worry about something like that happening.
For example,
You say that, but then you don't want to run everywhere.
the Bracelet of Valor teleport, that negates the teleport you get for completing the mini quest. But the teleport from the mini quest costs about 2 coins per teleport instead of 10k.
Yeah, like I think it's fine that that's like case. Like it was just before I read that bottom part.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that's,
really
a
like
pretty
this
important
idea.
stipulation. Yeah, I kind of like the idea. I'm sure like when if the old school RuneScape team itself like kind of takes it, and they'll obviously do tweaks, and they'll probably be able to come. I'm sure they'll be able to come up with something that's fairly balanced. I think if this goes through, it's not going to necessarily be this. I like the idea of an alternative to the Ring of Wealth.
I like the idea of like jewelry that you can wear to give you better stuff while skilling, because there isn't any of that.
Yeah, and I feel like that would make skilling more popular.
And
It's really
the
not.
amulet, the bracelet, and the ring, which you would wear during combat, those all replace a thing that gives you better attacking stats. So you have to give up like attack accuracy and strength for the effect of the item.
I feel like that's one of the more balanced things that we've talked about tonight.
Yeah, this I really like this.
Yeah,
I'm
this
glad I
does
found
seem,
it.
it does seem really balanced. I do like the idea. I think that because like also the fact that it's Zaya specific and Great Koran specific. It's just I just like the idea of that.
Yeah, I really like it. All right, second to last topic. So this is just a suggestion for Redwood. It suggests the addition of Redwood bows, which would have a fletching requirement of like 90 something, and they would be the same stats as the magic short bow imbued. So it just offer you another way of getting the a high level bow. The magic short bow imbue currently costs like 20k, so it doesn't devalue anything. Just gives you another way of training fletching and something to use redwood logs for.
Yeah, I really think there's a need for redwood logs. Because, like, why have a tree if we're not going to do anything with it?
The current uses are, you can light them on fire, or you can turn them into a shield.
That no one uses.
And no one uses.
At
Which
least
everyone,
redwoods are
like,
nice.
you turn them into a shield, which you then high alch.
Oh my god.
That's the use of the redwood.
It's really too bad, too, because, like...
And no one lights them on fire, because they just do wintertime.
Yeah. So, like, they should have a use for it besides, like, wood cutting.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only use really is wood cutting.
Yeah. And if you see, like, the stats, they're equal to the short bow, and it wouldn't really change much. Just be it'd be a minor change. Like, you wouldn't even require much effort, because you just have to change the color of, like, the used short bow to a red color, and then you're done.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Wait, question, can you grow, I can't remember, can you grow redwoods in the farming guild?
Yes.
Cool.
You can't cut them down yourself, though, which is kind of funny.
Really?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you have to pay someone $2K.
Because they're too big.
Oh yeah, because you can't ever cut down redwoods, right?
Yeah, you climb them and then chop at the bark.
So you can't even get can you get the logs though at the farming
Yeah.
guild?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that's how you chop redwoods. You climb the tree and then start chopping at it up high. It's actually kind of good because that one's the closest redwood to a bank, so it's really handy.
And yews are already pretty close to a bank and the wood cutting guild, so it's not like it's gonna really change that much.
Well,
the fact because
redwood logs are worth the same as a yew log, even though they require 30 levels higher wood cutting.
Are they really worth that much, though? I thought they'd be like 30 gold.
They're only worth that much because you can high elk the shield that they make.
Does it make any money, or?
I think it's just for crafting.
the logs are 250 each. The shield high elks for 500, and it takes 2 logs to make a shield.
Oh.
So I'm guessing it's just like some way to make making their crafting XP like not terrible.
Yeah, it gets you fletching XP, and then if you cut the logs yourself, you can elk it for magic XP. That's without losing money. That's about it.
Oh, the shield is fletching? That's weird.
Yeah, it's fletching.
Yeah, it's fletching to make the wood part, and then crafting to attach the dragon hide.
Oh.
All right, last one, which I think Abs will really like. Have you looked at it?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Cooking and guild expansion. The cooking guild is quite possibly the most underwhelming guild, so here are some ideas to make it better. Cooking oven. The idea here is similar to that of farming, where you leave a certain amount of fish depending on your cooking level inside the oven to cook over a period of time, and based on your cooking level, you'll burn some, or you can pay the chef to look after them. Small cooking oven requires 32 cooking to use and can hold 100 fish. It cooks all the fish in 1 hour with a chance of burning some based on your cooking level. Alternatively, the chef can be paid 50 GP per fish to make sure they're all cooked. You'll be granted normal XP. I don't like that you shouldn't get any XP for this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
medium. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Similar to the small, this will hold 350. The chef can be paid 100 GP to watch over them. 100 GP each. They're cooked in an hour. Yeah, you shouldn't get any XP. Large, 500, 150 per GP to watch over. And rock guards. Similar to the Messons there, the chef needs help feeding the rock guards. You can ask the chef for a task. He'll ask you to cook a certain type of food in one of the ovens of your choice. The higher tier will require higher tier food, and thus the more points you'll receive. Cooking points reward shop. The chef's outfit, which will give you cooking XP. The bag of cooking salt, untradeable, can be used 100 times on any cooked food so that it becomes salted, which increases the healing of it by 2 points. Frying pan, a wieldable frying pan that, while it is equipped while cooking, cooks 2 meats at once but only gives the XP for 1. What do you guys think?
I don't really like the idea of ovens, but I do like the bottom 2 points, like the rock guard and the cooking outfit, especially because like most of the skills already have an outfit, and I feel like cooking is really neglected.
Why don't you like the ovens?
I just don't. I feel like cooking is pretty AFK anyway. I don't think it really needs that.
Well, and what he was saying though is to take out the XP part, so it's more for like money making than anything. You know, you throw the fish in there.
Oh yeah.
So if you didn't, because if you just had the XP, people just exploit it for XP.
Yeah, so like for me, for example, I can't burn sharks anymore because of my cooking level. And cooked ones sell for 130 more than raw ones. So the large one can make. So if you use the large, the medium, and the small, so that's 500 plus 350 plus 100, then times that by 130. Now you can make 100K an hour by cooking
Yeah.
sharks.
I think
At
the price
no-
would probably
at 96.
the price would probably tank though if this became a thing.
Yeah,
That'd be
but
AFK.
what it would be good for is if you were training your fishing and you wanted to just make a bunch of food for Slayer
Yeah.
while you're doing a farm run or something, you could just throw it in there.
And I do really wish the cooking guild was bigger, because when I first started playing the game again, I ran past it like 100 times to the Grand Exchange, and I did not.
That was your favorite area in 2007.
I know, and I didn't realize it was the cooking guild. Like, it's not really on the map at all.
No.
Yeah, I like the idea of them making like the content they already have in there, like actually, something like something that people actually want to use. And
Yeah. I like
something else I was gonna say.
I like the reward shop. I think the cooking
Yeah, me
salt,
too.
which increases hit points, should only be used on like the classic fish, none of the newer ones. Because the new ones already heal like 20, 22.
What are the newer ones?
Like anglerfish or dark crabs, those both heal 22. And
never even
anglerfish
heard of those.
overheal. So an
Yeah.
overheal of 24 would give you 123 max health.
Yeah, that's
So
a little overpowered.
Just giving more relevance to the old school cooking stuff. I like that idea too.
So like your sharks could be comparable to like the dark crabs, but you would have to do the minigame yourself. You couldn't trade for them. Because I'd want the salted fish to be untradeable. Just like the salt is.
I mean, yeah, that would make sense.
So if you could do the cooking minigame to make your food heal more, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And
I like
also,
this idea. But
and back to the ovens though, like if it did decrease like the price of some fish and stuff, I honestly don't think that's necessarily terrible. I mean, sure, like for people who like to make money that way, it might be kind of terrible. I mean, it would also be a faster way to make the money. Anyway, what I want to say is that
the cooked ones will always be worth more because you burn some while you're
Yeah.
cooking until you're 96 cooking.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is just like it's nice that when the cost of things go, like at least like food, like basic food stuff, because it goes down just because that's more accessible for a lot of players. Because if you're not like buying bonds and selling them or like already really high level, it's kind of just like formidable seeing how much time you have to put into doing certain things and like just to make
Mhm.
money so that you can go do quests and other things. So like for players who aren't necessarily as hardcore and are a little more casual, I think it's just nicer for it to be more accessible, at least for like the basic stuff like healing items.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I like the idea. I thought it was fun.
And then I also
Hmm?
think the chef stuff, like the aprons and stuff, I always like the kind of idea of like getting like a set for a skill.
I would like that too. I think it's pretty cute. I like the pants.
I like the frying pan idea where you get half XP but cook twice as fast.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Like I think it's kind of neat. Like it's just for more like I'm guessing when you have the high cooking, so that you can just make more money quicker.
Like, there's no real way to trade XP for money with cooking. And that would give you a way of doing that. So you get less XP but more money.
Yeah, because pretty much everything scales. Like the higher the level of the cooking and the fishing, like the more expensive the item usually is. Like I don't think there's any exception to that, really, is there?
No, not really. So, that just give you some way of like, if you want to actually make money with cooking in a quick manner. Because right now I'm like, cooking sharks while not being able to burn them is like 100K an hour. So that at best you'd be able to make 200K an hour while cooking. And even less than that because the ovens would reduce how much the cooked one's worth.
I mean, that's kind of cool. It gives a little bit of relevance to skilling. People might actually do it if there is an incentive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. All right. Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
I like the chef's mustache in the picture.
All right. So, thank you all for listening or watching. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of RunePod, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you another episode in a week or two. If you want to support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/Sedwood. Any contributions will go to improving the podcast. You can catch me at youtube.com/Sedwood, twitter.com/Sedwood, or my blog at sedwood.com. Or message me in game with my name, Sedwood. You guys want to plug anything? You
I have no plug.
Any plugs? No, not particularly.
All I do is farm.
It was fun. It was fun doing this with you, though.
Yeah, I learned a couple things. Like how useless redwood trees are.
I learned a lot. Like how much I don't know mostly.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you're reading like a science book or like something like that, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm pretty stupid, aren't I?
Well, thank you everyone for watching, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.